I was lied to about retirement, and so were you. You're not irresponsible. You're misinformed. We were shown by example and sometimes by deed and very frequently by command that our retirement age was at the earliest 65. That's what you were to strive for. That is what I was to prepare for. 65. I'm going to work until then. Maybe later because maybe I love my job. Maybe I had lots of people I had to take care of. Who knows? But that was the expectation in the example and the lie that we had to work to 65. And it turns out what they've told us our entire life and what we considered was normal is wrong, is a lie, and normal is not the truth. We were all taught the same thing, whether you're women or men. Work hard, show up, do your best, give the extra effort, climb the ladder, make more money, rinse, repeat. Family, important, but not as important as you providing for them for as long as possible. Now, previous generations, that meant basically until they were married and out of the house, right? That's kind of how it happened with us Gen Xers. However, we now have a different world. Kids, grown kids, adult kids over 30, lots of them are coming home, and we're welcoming them with open arms because that wasn't available to us. That's a whole nother topic. But at the end of the day, you are now extending your financial responsibility for other living beings to the detriment of yourself. We're going to talk about that over the next couple of months over these series of videos. And we're going to figure out how to put ourselves first and our needs first. And for many of us, it's the first time in our entire life we're going to take priority. Today, though, I want us to think about why you personally feel that you were taught, you were shown by example, you were told your expectations. Maybe you've never really given it any thought. 65 is just the social norm. But let's figure out where that came from for each one of us, because it's going to be a little bit different. And to break out of that provided requirement is going to be very personal and very individual for every last one of us, male or females. So let's think about where that came from, because the only way you're going to burst that bubble is to find out where that bubble is being made from. For me, it was the information came by example from generational examples. It was the norm from my grandparents and my great aunts and uncles down through what my parents, my mother and my father, had inherited as far as their understanding of what retirement was, and then third generation me. If you think back prior to 3 generations from me, retirement wasn't so much of a goalpost. It wasn't a thing. It was just something that organically happened when you were too old and broken down to work, when you basically died on the job. People weren't necessarily focused on retirement as a goal to get to, but now that is the norm. We've all got to hit that gold line for retirement. And truth is, a lot of us are not ready and or prepared for retirement. So we may end up doing a hybrid retirement in today's terms. Maybe you don't want to stop working. Maybe you love what you're doing so much that you want to do it forever. Great. It's not about the money. It's about your life enjoyment. But then there's others, self-included, that would like to quit answering to someone outside of my existence, my life, and quit saying, yes, sir, I'll be there at a certain time. Yes, sir, I'll do 4 hours a day in traffic. I'm ready to stop that, and I want to do it sooner than later. So I'm taking a really hard look at my own money in my own life, not just the money, because it's not about the dollars. It's a lot to do with the cents. Am I emotionally and psychologically ready to cross over into retirement or a hybrid retirement? I'm getting there. I've actually written some journals that are helping me. Some of them are down below. Go check them out if you need some soul searching, intentional soul searching for yourself. I've also will be talking this whole topic from beginning to end for the next 7 months. If you're watching these videos, there's 7. There's going to be one a day. And on the 7th day, I'm also going to do a YouTube live. So all of this is going to be packaged together. So I don't care. Today it's 2026. So if this is 2029 or 2045, go and check them out. Binge them. This is timeless information, because what we find out is that it's not only about our job and how much money we saved and what we've been doing with that money. It's got a lot more to do about your awareness, your own personal habits, defining what is enough, what is sufficiency for yourself. So you guys keep coming back. This is happening. Retirement, death, taxes. You can count on them. They're going to happen in every life. So for we women, we believed, because we didn't know different, okay? We equated our jobs with being responsible, with being providers. Many of us are single income households, single parents, etc. So we had to work, and we never considered there would eventually be a time where we didn't have to work. So you need to understand that as well about yourself. Men, same thing. It is ingrained in your DNA that you are supposed to be the provider. You are supposed to work until you drop. You've had the example set for you over and over and over again. Your grandfathers, your great-grandfathers, your own father, the men you socialize with, the men you go to church with, you guys are all incredibly hard workers. But when can you stop? When is that possible? Let's unpack this together. So comment below, who taught you? Why do you think 65 or thereabouts is the magical age that you're allowed to retire? Because we're going to find out there is no law for it. All right. I will see y'all in the next video. Like, share, subscribe, bring others along. Let's dive into this together, because retirement is a whole new frontier for us. Stop recording.